Okay, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to week 7 of the LTM, where we were taking on Hunky Dunky. Hilarious name, I love him. He was a really nice guy, and we ended up having a situation where we scheduled for a specific time. He had a family emergency, which obviously makes 100,000,000% sense. Like, we had to reschedule, and that was completely okay. And then I ended up having a bit of an emergency on the day that we rescheduled for, and we sort of had to come to a decision of like, okay, do we play just, at a later day, and we play like at the end of week 8 or something, and that was gonna be pretty stressful for me because I have my week 8 game as well, and I don't have a lot of time in my hands, and I don't think he does either, clearly, given of all of our little scheduling conflicts. And then the other option was we'd play on Showdown because my emergency basically necessitated that I wasn't able to be home, so I basically went to a cafe, sat down, and played this game on my phone, which is less than ideal, obviously, but I would rather do that than have to stress myself out by playing 2 games in 1 week, and I don't want to hold Hunky up as well. So we both just had scheduling issues. It is what it is. This is sometimes just a facet of Draft League. Hopefully I can still give you all a good show with the replay and show you the game that was at hand. But yeah, obviously context is important. We had to play on Showdown just because it was very difficult for both of us to be in the right places at the right time. So Cafe Gaming Addy is what we're looking at right now, which means I was playing on my phone. I didn't have access to my calc, which was, something. I think I tried to do one calc on my phone, but then it was crashing my phone, so it really was not possible. I basically Showdown on your phone is very interesting because the layout is so annoying, and it's you have the touchscreen on your phone, so you're terrified of clicking a button and accidentally actually clicking the button. So if I want to see my Mon's moveset, I have to hover over the Mon and hold it. But if I am too careful, if I'm not careful enough, then I'm actually gonna select the Pokemon to switch into. So playing on your phone, not very ideal, and I really hope to not do it again. It was a very terrifying experience. And that being said, it's all love to Hunky, and again, I offered to do it, so it is what it is. And yeah, it was a funny situation just playing Pokemon in a cafe, and this was an intense game. So I'm wondering if people around me in the cafe were looking at me as I was oh my god, fuck, what do I do next? I don't know. So let's get into this. He has a very scary team. There's 2 Mons that I pretty much just don't have answers to. It's Mienshao and Braviary. Tinted Lens, Braviary, Hurricane, I just don't have a switch into. My resists are Raikou and Caparaja, both of which are 2 KO'd, which is insane. Plus he'd run defensive Terra types for Raikou, which is really scary, and he could even run Calm Mind Esper Wing with the Tinted Lens set, or he could just be fucking Sheer Force Hurricane as well. It's just all this fucking terrifying shit about Braviary that I don't have an answer. And my team isn't offensive enough against it to immediately threaten it. I basically have to build a team in a way where whatever Mon I have in front has some means of immediately threatening it, but it's not possible with Terra because it can become any type, so it's very scary into my team. And makes this matchup very difficult. I thought last week's matchup was difficult. This was incredibly hard, and it was tough to prep for, absolutely. And yeah, it kind of sucks. I have 2 kind of meh matchups back to back. And then Mienshao, I just don't have an answer to as well. My resists in Gligar and Mesprit died to triple axle and knockoff / U-turn, so that sucks. And basically it meant that I had to run Terra Poison Mesprit this game. He reveals to me that he's Terra Electric Hisuian Braviary, which makes sense because it beats Raikou, like I was saying about the defensive Terra type. And yeah, he brings some scary Mons. He had a couple other Mons that I thought might come, Hydrapple or Magnezone. I thought Magnezone might come as a Staraptor answer, but meh. And then Hydrapple is a good answer to things like Blastoise or even Raikou itself. So I expected those to come, but the Mons that come didn't necessarily surprise me. I didn't prep really at all for Torterra, which is crazy to say as the Raikou user, but I didn't prep at all for it because my plan for Hydrapple was Weather Ball with Hail, and I was I'll just do the same to Torterra, everything's fine. So yeah, that was basically my prep for it. But it's scary. I do have Ice Shard on my Abomasnow, but Shell Smash is scary. Plus he could just get a Brox with it. That sucks. Yeah, it's a scary bond. the other 5 I expected, but Torterra was probably I probably expected Torterra to be Hydropple the way I built this team. And then maybe like I thought like Quillfish or Talonflame would be Magnezone, but you'll see. The team we brought is quite good. So in terms of what we brought Choice Scarf Raikou because I'm just lose to Choice Scarf Mienshao, so I need Choice Scarf Raikou, which sucks. Choice Scarf Staraptor because I think it looks pretty good this game, and then Choice Scarf Abomasnow to get like a hit off on something, like a hit off against Abomasnow or Braviary, so that one of my other Choice Scarfers can revenge it. And then we have a Terra Poison, like I said, Mesprit, that has Rocks and Light Screen and Pain Split to like stay healthy against Mienshao. And then we have like Spit Def, Roar, Blastoise, and then we have like a offensive 4 attacks Expert Belt Arcanine with like Wild Charge, Flare Blitz, Extreme Speed, and Play Rough for Hydropple. Not a great team, to be completely honest with you, and it was a tough matchup. So, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm not like feeling great about the matchup. Looking at the matchup and then team preview and then like the conditions that I was playing the game in, it was just a whole mess. So let's enjoy this mess together and have a good time. So so I lead Mesprit basically because I need to get my Terra off if I don't want to lose to Mienshao, and he leads with like worst case scenario, which is this thing. So I can't Terra Poison yet because I don't want to get like Asper Winged out of nowhere. And he just goes for Hurricane, so I guess I could have Terra'd, but I wasn't going to. I go for Light Screen here, basically trying to like mitigate some of this damage, and then I can get my Citrus Berry, because I have Citrus Berry, because why wouldn't I? And then I get Rocks Up. Now, these first 2 turns that I just had become a complete and utter waste, because I completely forgot that Talonflame was a remover this gen. It's always been a remover, but like I guess I just like forgot that like it... I don't know, I never think Defog when I think Talonflame, so it just like didn't enter my brain space at the time that like he could be Defog. So these first 2 turns are an absolute mess, and not great. So I go Arcanine here, and it's like, again, I can Wild Charge expecting Volcanion, hoping that happens, but this thing is insane. This thing's insanely bulky, and since I don't have access to a Calc, I can't Calc this, but it's pretty obvious that it's like max defense. I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? I don't have any like immediate ways to like pressure this thing. I don't have ways that like really like deal damage to it. The best I could hope is to go into Mesprit and then try and get my rocks back up and Pain Split and stuff. So Pain Split is what comes off here. I get rid of the Gill Wings, that's really nice, and then I make a really, really bad play here. Definitely like probably one of the, if I remember correctly, this is one of the 2 turns this game where like I just like clicked too quickly on my phone and just like was like, oh, I'll do this, and like just went autopilot without thinking it through. And I went autopilot by clicking Rocks, even though this thing just revealed to be Defog. And he clicks Brave Bird here, which is a fine play. And all of a sudden, A, I'm in range of another Brave Bird, so I have to switch into a Brave Bird again, and B, he could just defog these away. And C, my answer to Mienshao no longer exists. I needed this for Mienshao. Fucking Addy, come on now. So I'm in a really bad spot here, but I'm trying to like keep it alive, because if something dies and then I can come in with this against Mienshao, I can Pain Split back up and maybe I'm in a better spot. So I'm gonna go into Raikou here on what is either a Brave Bird or Defog, right? So again, I just wasted all that health on Mesprit for no reason, and that sucks. Now here, I was very certain that something like Torterra might come in, because I was like, okay, like Torterra came for a reason, it's probably Raikou answer. So, you know, I think Torterra is coming in. So I decided to pull a double into Arcanine, expecting Torterra to come in, Expert Belt, Flare Blitz, Okos, and even though like he has other answers, I just revealed Wild Charge, so I'm hoping that he wouldn't go into Volcanion, and what I could do with that means that like Torterra will come in, I'll click Flare Blitz, and if Quillfish comes in again, hopefully I could just whittle it down with Flare Blitz over time. And that was sort of my plan on how I can like chip Quillfish. But he just stays in and clicks Flare Blitz, which I thought was crazy, because I didn't even die to Flare Blitz, so he was just dead to Raikou. So I definitely should have made the safer play, just clicked Volt Switch to even just like scout his intentions, right? So like ultimately what this telegraphs to me is he's holding Torterra in the back for something, and for that reason he's not even comfortable switching in against Raikou. So yeah, this tells me that he doesn't want to switch Torterra in against Raikou, is what I'm thinking in this moment. So no better next time. And he just goes for Flare Blitz. So I could have clicked Volt Switch and just killed this if I just clicked Volt Switch scouting his intentions. I would have been in a decent spot, but I was afraid of Torterra coming in, so I didn't. So he clicks Flare Blitz here. I guess the other situation too is like he doesn't know that I'm Scarf, so Flare Blitz could have been just an idea for him to like get chip off on me over time, but I thought he would preserve this. So yeah, he goes into Quillfish again here. I click Flare Blitz this time, like same idea. Like I don't think he's staying with Talonflame. I don't think he's going into Volcanion on a potential Wild Charge. I'm just gonna click Flare Blitz for damage, but it does nothing. And this thing is definitely like max Fizz Def. I go into Raikou here, and he goes Braviary. Braviary is an interesting play because I think I was considering going into like I don't know what I was thinking of going into. Yeah, Braviary makes sense. I don't know what he was predicting necessarily, but like there was nothing I could bring in that was like having a great time versus this Braviary. So I just click Volt Switch. It's some damage on Braviary at least, and I have to go into my Blastoise. And it was my dedicated answer to this. I was hoping that it wouldn't be Terra Electric, but it is. And I live a Esper Wing into a Terra Blast, and I can Earthquake it because that was my coverage for Volcanion, and it works out conveniently here. And now it's in range of E-Speed, which is quite nice. But I basically have to sack my Blastoise in the process, which makes me sad. I go into Arcanine here. Funny little situation with the Blastoise exchange is I could have actually Shell Smashed there and outsped it the next turn, which would have been quite funny. I was like no speed, but I had Shell Smashed. I think my set was Ice Spinner, Earthquake, Shell Smash, Roar, and Shell Smash was just for like a little last minute ditch situation where like if I had to, I could Shell Smash against Volcanion and just like do more damage with Earthquake. But I didn't Shell Smash because I was afraid of him just Esper Winging again, but had I actually Shell Smashed, then I would have forced him to sack something, which would have been quite nice, so is what it is. I go into Arcanine here and try and click E-Speed, and he's actually going to preserve this, which, you know, fair enough. And I'm going to do, like, nothing to this fucking Quillfish because it's so unbelievably bulky. And I'm like realizing this now, and I'm like, wow, I did not prep for Quillfish at all. Like, I just like, there were other things on this team that I was like really worried about, and like Quillfish was just not one of them, and it definitely should have been. Like, I don't know why it wasn't, but I just did not consider this beast, and it's like 9% from max attack Arcanine E-Speed. Like, holy shit. So I go into Raikou. I know I can't kill this, but it's my best way of hitting it. And remember what I said earlier about like thinking that he's holding Torterra in the back for like something else and he's afraid to switch into Raikou? Nope. Like he's just gonna go into it now. So he's just reading the absolute shit out of me. Like I thought for sure he was gonna go into Torterra last time, and the fact that he didn't go into Torterra last time made me think, okay, I guess I can Volt Switch for free, or at least Volt Switch for free once, because he's clearly not okay with switching Torterra in against Raikou because it was so free to do it last time, but he didn't do it. So I was like, okay, let's go into Raikou, let's click Volt Switch this time and finally like get it done. And he goes Torterra this time, and I'm like, oh my god, why the fuck did you go Torterra this time? Fucking reading me and shit, how dare you? So I go into a Bomb Snow. Basically it's like a one-time switch in. He's gonna go for Smackdown, which is gonna like do a bunch of damage to me, and now all of a sudden I'm in range of close combat, because this was, even though I'm Scarf, this was EV to live one close combat from the Anshao. Now I can't, so that sucks. I think I still could have had you gone for like Earthquake, but not after this little Smackdown. And now here, I make a read for once in my goddamn life, and I get it right. Crazy. I go for Earth Power, expecting Volcanion, but I'll take the Quillfish. I'll take what I can get at this point, right? So then I'm like, okay, yes, he could go Talonflame, but I haven't revealed that I'm Scarf yet. So if I Blizzard here, like, he's in a bad spot. So surely he just stacks the Quillfish. Nope. He just goes into Talonflame. And I'm like, holy shit, this guy's going crazy. Like, fucking Hunky Dunky, like, was losing these games this season, and then he just like was like, you know what, I've decided to like fuck Addison up, and he is fucking me up right now. So I'm like, holy goddamn, he's just making every right read. And yeah, he went hard Talonflame, and yeah, I now have to go into my Arcanine. I'm like, okay, surely Arcanine takes 2 of these hits. It's a Talonflame, like its attack is not that good, even though it's a Talonflame. Like, surely an Arcanine, because I get to intimidate this thing, it doesn't get 2 KO'd by Brave Bird. I'm a liar. Like, it definitely does, and it's because I think this thing's adamant. I don't remember checking afterwards, but I think this thing's adamant. There's no way that that is Jolly Max Attack Brave Bird, but maybe Arcanine's just bad. I don't know. So, yeah, I have to go Raikou here, Brave Bird, and sadly, like, the Weather Ball is now run out, or Snow is run out, so Weather Ball is not a safe click here. So I have to go for Volt Switch again, and I'm like, oh, but like, surely like he won't go into Torterra this time, like surely. And like I'm just in this cafe like being like surely, like I'm like racking my brain, I'm like come on. But I'm making these calls like very like swiftly, like I'm making these plays in like 5 seconds, and I'm just like volt switch, you're not doing it, and then he does it, and I'm like, oh no, that's horrible. So yeah, I'm in a terrible spot here. And then he shell smashes. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, oh shit. Now, thankfully, I have Ice Shard. So in my brain, I'm like, okay, I can Ice Shard and then pick this off with Extreme Speed. But what I forgot, because I'm just playing this way too quick, is I forgot that he was Smackdown and not Stone Edge. So, like, I could have just clicked Blizzard here and still gotten the KO and, like, taken the hit and covered for a switch. But I don't do that. I click Ice Shard. And he goes into Talonflame, and Ice Shard fucking doesn't kill. And I'm like, this is awful. So I have to like sack my Nosberg here, which is definitely the wrong play. I probably should have sacked my Arcanine, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. So I go into Raikou, and I'm like, surely this time he'll go Torterra, because he's been doing it. And like, obviously, like if he knows about Weather Ball, he'll never go Torterra. But I'm at a point now where I'm so behind, and I'm like, I just need hope that he just has no idea that Raikou gets Weather Ball. And he either does or just decides that this is the right time to finally sack something. And he sacks the Quillfish. So Weather Ball comes off. This is awful for me because now I've revealed Weather Ball, so the super secret surprise is gone. And now me and Chosen, and I have no switch into close combat. It just claims something. Like I just lose. Like I just can't win this race. And he gives me a little bit of a lucky break here by clicking U-turn. And I'm like, oh my god, you clicked U-turn. But it doesn't really matter because I can click E-speed. And not kill this thing, and then this thing's not dead after a Brave Bird. So I could have killed this Talonflame turn 9, and I didn't. And like for the next like 21 turns, I was just kicking myself. I was like, this fucking Talonflame, this thing should have been dead. And I was just clicking way too fast. Like I just remember myself in the moment being like, you're going Torterra, and like hearting like Arcanine immediately. And God, if I had just Volt Switched and scouted that intention, this like I would have been in such a better position. But it is what it is. And like honestly, like I'm having fun. So we're gonna go into Raikou here, and I just click Shadow Ball. I'm like mid-ground, fuck it. Like we're clicking Shadow Ball. But he goes me in Shadow here, and he can pretty much click CC for free. So I click Shadow Ball because otherwise I'm sacking something. Maybe I should have gone Abomasnow and then clicked Weather Ball, but then like Volcanion comes in, so I don't know, it doesn't seem that worthwhile. I go Raptor, and you know, he's gonna let something else go down, but at this point I just can't win the race. He has speed control over my team, and it's just not possible to win. So I am basically just conceding defeat at this point, just clicking what's in front of me. And you know, he clicks Steam Eruption here instead of a fire move, so maybe there's like a universe where like I could have gone hard Abomasnow, and then Earth powered this or something, or like tried to call a switch. I don't know. Like there really was not a shot, to be completely honest with you. But like I think I probably could have tried a little bit harder in this endgame to you know, go for my out, even if my out was like a 0.001% chance. But yeah, close combat's just gonna nuke me here, and that's gonna be the game. So we give Hunky his first win of the season, very well deserved, and I'm sorry that it had to be on Showdown. Obviously, like I'm sure that win would feel a lot better if it was not in this like type of situation, but like I'm sure he'll take it. And this puts me in a really shit position in terms of playoffs. Obviously, you don't want to lose 2 weeks in a row, and it's very rare that I end up finding myself in a position where I have to like win an in to make playoffs. Like the very last week I have to win in order to make playoffs, or else I'm not in playoffs. Like typically I make playoffs before that point, so I haven't had to stress about this very often, but nope, now we got that. And I think I've only like done like a win and in game like twice, I think, in my life before, and I think those are both the 2 times I didn't make playoffs in my life. So like definitely a scary position to put myself in, but like that's what makes this league exciting, right? Like fucking like keep y'all on your toes, keep y'all in suspense. Will you get a silly Addy, or will you get like, you know, fucking like tough and hard Addy? And like ultimately got a bit of silly Addy here, but also like this game like was honestly like I was like, at a certain point I was laughing so much. I was like, God, I'm so fucked. Like Hunky made like every right prediction, and like kudos to him. So Well done. And yeah, we play J-Scurf next week, and if we win, we make playoffs. If we don't make playoffs, which would be crazy, especially after like having such a good PPL performance. So let's try and make playoffs. I cannot be the queen of Draft League and not make playoffs. Like, come on. So we're going to try and do that next week against J-Scurf, who is an incredible player. I've only gotten to know him like through this league and then DPL as well, where he just got picked up, and he's a very good player. So it's going to be very tough. It's going to be a tough opponent, arguably one of our toughest opponents all season, and we're going to just make it happen. But GG to Hunky. Hopefully we get a game on actual proper Wi-Fi at some point, and yeah, much love to you. Yeah, that's about it. Sorry for the postcom, but hopefully this was enjoyable to some extent. And yeah, I will see you all next week, where Wi-Fi will be back, I promise. So yeah, all right, bye everyone.